Samurai are awesome. They are the warriors of cool and ultimate badassery. They're honored, brave, heroic and feared heroes, there to take their own lives if they brought disrespect to their names. They're basically the very personification of medieval Japan, the knights of feudal Japan, with katana swords, smithed with passion, patience and love by expert blacksmiths, made to protect the weak against those who dare to be above the others. Now, if you ask my 10-year-old self, what is samurai? I would answer that with a terribly struggled voice. And to this day, I would probably say the same thing, but I would be completely overlooking the Meiji Restoration, a time when Japan decided to completely transform what they are and what they wanted to do. After the downfall of the Tokugawa shogunate in the Boshin War, the emperor was restored to supreme power and moved the capital to Edo, now known as Tokyo. This affected the samurai class as Japan westernized its way of governing, giving samurai two choices: never to draw a sword once again or to become work for the new government. And with that, the generic samurai stereotype of bravery and honor was abolished. Samurai are no more the protector of the weak or the warrior of heroism. They are but a soldier to serve imperialist Japan to come in the next years and decades. The Rurouni Kenshin Trilogy, or the Kenshin Trilogy as I like to call them, is a trilogy of Japanese movies set in the Meiji era. It's based on the spectacularly badass manga and anime of the same name from the 90s. And being from the 90s, it could only mean a few things. Everyone is a huge and buff badass warrior, everyone shouts their signature moves, and every fight is a 20-minute conversation of ideology. So basically, Dragon Ball for samurai. In some ways, somehow, the movies took everything straight from the manga that is dramatically badass, adapted it to a trilogy of movies, and turned all of that hyper badass samurai story into a grounded, realistic, and historical retelling of the manga, keeping the ultimate bombastic badassery and what made the series so memorable. A unique and great story and fun all the way through, filled with colorful, interesting, and compelling characters, which stands for distinct principles and beliefs, written in their own character with attention and love, set in the most interesting part of the Japanese history. I want to give you an example, the easiest example, a story of one great character that best represents this story. Hitokiri Batasai was an assassin in the Boshin War against the Bafuku to take down the Tokugawa shogunate. Hitokiri Batasai was known to be brutal and relentless in mowing down his enemies. His high body count under a single sword was pretty infamous too. Through assassinations and slaughters, he slowly realized what he was actually doing is, well, wrong and unjustifiable. And so following the war, he returned to his old name and left his path of assassinations and murders. He became a pacifist, wandering the lands of Japan. Even after that, he didn't leave his samurai path. He still is a samurai carrying a sword with the name of Sakabato, or a first-edged sword that kun and mun take a soul, if used properly. Kenshin is a samurai, protecting the weak against those who are above, with a vow to never shed blood on his enemies, but killing countless with his hands. And his sword is a samurai warrior's weapon made for killing, that doesn't even kill. A perfect representation of Kenshin as a character of a pacifist warrior. A weapon forged to kill, but to never draw blood. But what am I talking about? This is a story about samurai. Most of the characters are damn unkillable warriors. Warrior of swords who clangs louder than a drum. So of that, how they fight as a samurai best represents their character. Every move, every sword blow, and every parry are telling you a story of these characters. Let's settle for one final best example. Shishio Makoto was Rurouni Kenshin's successor as Hitokiri. For change, he was the cruelest of them all, bloodthirsty. He was dangerous. He was so dangerous, the new Meiji government got rid of Shishio, in fear he would only cause more problems for them, by burning him alive. That makes Shishio a villain of vengeance and revenge, a man of fiery ruthlessness and cold blood. And his fighting style represents that like nothing else. His moves are hard, bold, fast. His blows are deafeningly powerful. His strength is no match for everyone. And everywhere he goes, he carries the sword of Mugenjin. The sword is able to kill without losing its edge or getting blunt. Its self-sharpening edge disables it to lose its feel, regardless of the number of men it slays. A sword that ignites fire when it strikes. A literal sword of fire. Meaning, it gets stronger with each man it slays. An ultimate symbolism of Shishio and his beliefs. The belief that the strong will always win against the weak. A weapon born to kill in the most ruthless ways possible. And other than building characters, the fight scenes are absolutely badass. They are extremely entertaining, every single second of it. They're fun, they're fast, dynamic, well choreographed, exactly what it was in the anime and manga. If the samurai fights alone don't get you to watch this series, I don't know what will. But the thing is that samurai fights look nothing like this. Realistically, this is the worst representation of samurai fights. If they do fight like this, their swords will chip in a single swipe and will break in a single blow. Samurai duels are just duels of speed. One blow and the champion is determined, not a clash of sword to sword, nor a high-octane series of moves and blows. A culmination of every struggle they had, even to everything they've been telling. They are heroes in the wild lands of Japan, during the era and times of savages and warriors, made in the days of yesteryear. And with this Kenshin trilogy being in the realistic and grounded side of samurai stories, the crazy and entertaining fights don't fit too much, don't it? But I guess that is exactly what distinguishes this trilogy with the other great samurai movies. Instead of a samurai story of courage and bravery and heroism, a story of the rise of a hero, instead of a simply realistic and grounded samurai story, this movie is a story of ruthless warriors, born from the times of a savage, living and fighting in a less wild age, an era in which the warriors who shaped the lands are no longer needed. It's a samurai story for the new modern age, for the new era of filmmaking and storytelling. It's no longer fighting that of injustice and unheroism. It's just fighting those who disturb the peace in new, modern, less savage era.